Hey everyone, happy Wednesday, happy Wellness Wednesday. Today I want to talk about what is stressing you out. And I know this may get a variety of responses. What stress means to you may be very individual, but we might also have some commonalities in our definition of stress and how it shows up in our lives. So I'm going to give you a little time to hop on. If you are here live, then put a 1 and let me know where you're tuning in from. If you watch this later on the replay, then let me know by putting a 2 for replay and telling me where you are tuning in from for the replay. And also, while you're at it, drop in the comments what stress means to you. When you hear that word stress, what do you think of? Do you think of certain things that trigger stress in your body and in yourself? Do you think of certain parts of your body that might have a stress response? It'll just be really interesting to hear how you define and perceive stress. So I'm going to share with you a little bit about my own experiences during my health journey, which was approximately 7 years. And I would say ... and continuing, because I am so much better than I was 7 years ago. 7 years ago, I was just really feeling hopeless and dealing with a lot of fatigue and having sleep issues, having difficulty winding down to go to bed. I was also having digestive issues. I would suddenly have sudden abdominal pain in my belly and didn't know what was triggering that. And I also started developing joint pain, and it felt like my hands and feet would suddenly be on fire, and also didn't know what the trigger was or the triggers were at that point in time. All I knew was that things needed to change and that I did not want to be experiencing that for another day, for a lifetime, definitely not a lifetime. And so I was committed to doing what it would take to get better. And I had already seen many doctors and had gone through the regular medical community and had gone to more natural practitioners, and still ended up developing that burning pain in my hands and feet despite many doctor visits and a lot of money, time, and energy spent. So for my own experience, stress did come up in my, seeking help. Different practitioners did say to me, hey, like, what kind of stressors are you experiencing? Some of them felt that my health issues were due to stress. But one of the things that often was talked about was my job. And so I'd love to hear from you. When you think of stress, do you instantly or often think about your job, the work that you do? For me, I definitely did not disagree with that. My stress levels as a speech therapist were definitely high. It was very draining, a lot of multitasking, a lot of paperwork, a lot of demands. And while I love helping kids, helping people, there's absolutely no doubt that it was extremely stressful. So that I acknowledged, but I knew that there was more going on. And ironically, gut instinct, I knew in my gut, that there was more going on there. So what I want you to consider is that not only do we experience stress from an emotional side of it. So, you're feeling overloaded with work. You're feeling like you're running ragged, trying to manage all of the responsibilities that you have in your life, whether that's with your family, your kids, your friends, people coming to you asking for things, needing help, that kind of thing. Maybe you are a caregiver. Often I help people who are caregivers, and I really feel for all that a caregiver goes through in terms of taking care of their child with special needs, taking care of their elderly parent, and on, whatever that looks like. for you and who you care for. But not only do we deal with emotional stressors, we also have physical stressors. And so physical stress can take a lot of different forms. And for me, one of my physical stressors was my digestive issues that had been going on for 7+ years. And the longer it went untreated or not fully treated, the more that impacted my stress levels and my body's ability to cope with life, I guess you could say, right? So we only have, I always talk about a cup. We have a cup and we only have so much room in that cup. And once we fill that cup up with so many stressors and life circumstances that are depleting us, that what happens to that cup over time when it gets so filled up and there's no more room, it overflows and becomes a huge mess, right? So our bodies, our stress levels, our health is the same type of thing. And so for me, my digestive issues, I had high inflammation going on, I had autoimmune going on. Those are things that all came out in the research, in the digging, in the trying to get help, and my own research. So this video is really to get you thinking about the word stress and that there's so much more to that word than how we typically may define it. So if your body is unhealthy, your body is struggling if we want to get to the very, very basic core, your cells, your cellular health, if your cells are not healthy, they make up every part of your body. And so in order to be a healthy individual, you need to have healthy cells and get to the very deep roots of the challenges. And then your gut health is so important. So if you've never thought about gut health, you might feel moody, you might feel irritable a lot. Maybe you have blown up on people. You have trouble managing your stress and your anger and frustration. Those are all signs that your body is really struggling. And chronic stress that is going on for a long period of time, that isn't coped with, that isn't able to be managed appropriately, will show up in dis-ease in your body. So just a friendly reminder to acknowledge stress, to make sure that you're coping with it if you need help. That is something in health coaching that I certainly talk about, educate on, and help my clients, help guide them to develop healthy coping mechanisms to deal with stress, and not just the stress of things on the outside, but the stress of how their body is actually functioning. And so many people are struggling internally with bodies that are not working optimally due to a variety of factors. We have very stressful lives, typically. We also have a lot of toxins in our food and in our environment. If you've seen me post before, you know that I address that and talk about that. I actually had a post up recently that Capri Suns, the company that makes Capri Suns, specifically the cherry flavor, had done a recall stating that there seemed to be chemicals, cleaning solution that got into the Capri Sun supply, and so they recalled a bunch of batches of that. So check out my story. I think it's still up if you haven't had a chance to see that, or Google Capri Sun recall, and I'm sure you will find it from the last couple days. So there's no doubt that there are chemicals and toxins in our environment. Some people, without even realizing it, are using toxins every day, either in their job or in their homes to clean, and putting those things on their bodies, or just in the air all around them, and that adds up over time. To really be more aware of all of the contributors to disease, to really get better equipped and better awareness, if that's something that you've been wanting to do and you know that you won't have the time, the energy, or the desire to dig into things as deeply as I like to do, then also reach out to me. I am scheduling consultations, and I am really passionate about holistic wellness and what looking at the whole picture has done for me and my health, and look forward to seeing how I may be able to support you in upgrading your health. And feel free to reach out. Have a great evening, guys. Thanks for tuning in.